Okay, let me show you some specific things that you need to know about Markdown at one time or another. First, let's create a new R Markdown file and click on R Markdown. And you'll see this thing every time you do it, and I'll just leave the defaults there right now. So every time you create a new Markdown file, it's going to give you the same sort of demonstration file to play with, okay? And what you'll want to do is just erase probably all of this document and create your own document. Okay. You don't need any of this really, so just drop all of that. Okay, so now you've got an R Markdown document which has nothing but the heading material up on top. And how do you work with this thing? Well, here's some text. Okay, and you want to write a little bit of R code. How do you get a chunk? Well, see this little thing here? This creates a chunk. And how do you use chunks? Well, the most important thing about chunks is that you have to keep your R code completely within chunks. So everything that goes inside a chunk is going to be treated by R as code. Okay? So you can do things like str mtcars. You can do sumary. Oops. Yeah. Left paren mtcars. Okay. That'll work. Let's just knit that and make sure it's working. And I'll knit to Word. That tends to be a little bit faster than knitting to, I'll just leave that as untitled and replace it. I don't care. Okay, so there you see, there's your text, and there's what was in your R chunk. There's the command, there's the output of the command, there's the command, there's the output of the command. Okay, let's close this, and we'll do some more things. If you want to make this thing a heading, you just put 2 hash marks here, and that'll make that a heading. Now I want to show you some of the things that can go wrong. One of the things that might go wrong is that you might put some text inside a chunk. Here's my code. And let's see what happens when you've got text inside a chunk. And again, I'll click on Knit Word. And you get an error message. And that's because it's just like you typed "here's my code" at the R console. R tried to treat that as code, and of course it can't. Okay? So you get this error message that tells you where it is, line 11, something's wrong there. Actually, when something goes wrong inside a chunk, you'll always get the first line of the chunk being reported as the problem location, but it could be anywhere within chunk. So we can fix that. We just turn "here's my code" into a comment by putting a hash mark in the first column. And now we knit Word. And everything works just fine. Okay? The other thing you might do that could go wrong, you might have the R command. We'll just take it out of here, and we'll put it down here. And we'll knit it. And you see what happened now is that the summary command ran, but str of mtcars was just treated as plain text. It was not handed off to the R program for processing. Okay, so let's make another mistake. Let's put it back in here. Let's put it here. and we'll knit. Okay. Anything that you put on either the beginning line of the chunks or the ending line of a chunk will cause a problem. So don't do that. Always make sure that your R code is enclosed strictly within a chunk. Okay? Now, how do you get help? When things are going to go wrong, I know, when you're creating Markdown files the first time or first couple times, what I would need you to do to allow me to help you is take this stuff here and copy it and put that in an email message to me, and then attach to that email message the complete contents of the RMD file that you're working on. If you'll do that, I can straighten up your problems, and I think we'll get along okay with Markdown. Okay?